They folded up really easily.
3 settings, 2, 3 positions. So you actually started putting this together before you knew that we were expecting twins. Where did you get those sheets? Would you put it on again?
Yes.
Yes. Okay.
Yes. In fact, we actually bought more. They were on our registry, and then we bought another set.
If you're getting gauze, then they definitely know the gen. So check us out at pepe.com. Today, we're going to go through our baby registry.
I am still actually happy with a lot of our decisions as far as our registry goes. I think that it worked out. What do you think?
There really were some hits on this registry. There were some real hits. Thank you to everyone who helped us, who purchased something off of this registry.
Yeah.
That was extremely helpful for us at the time. I don't know how we would have done it without that. That said, I'm all about treating the baby registry as more of a planning document. Don't go into it expecting to get specific things unless someone has told you in advance.
I think it's important to go into creating your baby registry based off of your friends and your family. That it's going to be there, but most importantly, like you said, yourself and your spouse. Your friends and family should be able to help with things.
I mean, some people are going to have more support than others,
yeah.
Right? You may not necessarily just know how to approach the registry in general, and you may be thinking about it more in terms of just these are items I need, rather than, oh, this is something that someone might want to bring to a shower and give to me in front of other people.
That's a big part of it, too. So if it's an item that, for instance, a pumping bra or milk storage bags, like,
Right.
People
Gauze.
don't really want to watch you open those things and be like, yes, I gave you them. Like, it's a little bit, rather give you, like, a cute baby outfit or something.
If you're getting gauze, then they definitely know the gender. Let's take a look at this list a little bit closer. I know the first item on here is something that I always try to dress the babies in every single time. Every single opportunity that I got, I tried to dress the babies in this, and I often got in trouble for it, and that's the Gerber Unisex Baby 8-pack short sleeve onesies. They're just so convenient. I just love how you could just, like, snap the bottom, easily change the diaper, and a lot of times our house was kind of hot. So this is something that I think I was a little bit overly obsessed with. Definitely not the cutest way to dress your babies.
Also, we had like so many cute onesies. Like you could have put them in
They
anything.
never wore it. When they were with me, they just wore the Gerber.
The white
Gerber,
ones.
white
Just
ones.
the white
Yeah, that's what babies should wear.
T-shirt onesies.
Yes. That in my mind, that's what babies should wear. Like, they should not be dressing cool. They should just wear the white onesies.
Well, during the
T-shirt
day with
in the
me,
summer.
they were wearing T-shirt, pizza, and like hot dog.
Which is so funny because
shirts.
now as toddlers, that's what they wear all the time. But it's the
real.
actual food. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I definitely would recommend the white onesies. They're always a great go-to, especially, oh my gosh, when they're newborns and they're just spitting up constantly. And I feel like you're just going through outfit after outfit, changing them one right after the other. And some of the onesies are so difficult to deal with, especially the ones that button up all the way, like under the legs and
or some of them
under the
side
crotch.
and like over
Oh
and
my
around.
god! You're trying to follow this trail of buttons, sometimes in the dark.
Yeah, avoid the buttons if you can, really.
Yeah, I like this because, like, obviously it doesn't go down their legs. Mm-hmm. So this one would not be appropriate, I don't think, at all, really, for a winter baby.
No.
I mean, you can put pants on them and put something over it.
Yeah,
but it's
I mean,
basically
probably
like
not
underwear.
for a white onesie. Although, in the winter, we did have some onesies that were really cute that didn't fit them during the spring or summer or even like early fall. That I just put a long sleeve onesie underneath it and then put the t-shirt on top, and that was cute with some pants. And that's a lot of layers though too. So if you just want to like go with one layer. Honestly, the problem that I had with them though was the fact that you had to put them over their head. And you were more comfortable with babies than I was.
Okay, that makes sense.
I didn't have much experience with babies prior to having the twins. So just having to like move their little arms through the holes and pull it over their head. It was a little bit nerve-wracking.
I get nervous about that now, especially even though we're both very comfortable with having shirts pulled over their heads. Let's look at the next item, which is something, like I said, that we still use today now. So it's really had a long life. That's the Poopoose changing pad and the Poopoose changing pad cover.
And if you're not familiar with the Poopoose changing pad, the Poopoose has like a big Velcro thing that goes around the belly.
Here's a question though. The Poopoose, obviously it's been really nice for us over a couple of years.
Yeah.
Without the changing pad cover, with that being discontinued, the color being discontinued, would you still do it?
Honestly, yeah, I would.
Okay.
However, I have a background in fibers, and I am very crafty and savvy with, like sewing machines and things like that. So I would just either buy a cover that I liked and then modify it to fit, which I do know that people do. Yeah, that's what I would do.
So if someone knows how to sew and they have an Etsy shop out there, this might be an opportunity for you to start a little cottage business.
Also, Poopoose, bring back the cover.
Yeah, bring back the cover, please. If you have one of these, assuming you're not going to make one yourself, is it going to be a problem to just have a Poopoose without a cover?
No.
Okay.
No. It will be a little bit cold.
It has that plastic changing cover,
yeah.
So it's going to be cold to the touch. So you don't like that.
At least when they were little, we actually took out the middle part when they were babies, but then we put it back in because we needed it. They were
when they start rolling around and
they were
wrestling,
like little alligators and everything, and you could just and they'd be secure, and you could just change them, and it was so easy.
Yeah, I like too that there's a little strap on there that you can screw into your changing table if you're going to keep it there permanently, so you're not worrying about it sliding off. I think that's a nice feature. I look at some of the more expensive changing pads, and honestly, that makes sense to me.
Really?
Yeah.
Like the Kikaroo?
Like the Kikaroo, I think the ability to wipe them off is nice versus taking the pad off and throwing it in the washer, especially if it doesn't come with a pad that fits it, from the start.
Well, the thing is it's a standard size. So it will fit most of them that are out there that are shaped like this. It will work with that. All that you have to do is just add little slots.
Okay, you need to cut some holes in it.
That's the difference.
Let's talk about the quicker, thicker, waterproof changing pad liners from Blue Snail, another item that we obviously still use today.
I don't know if you've ever heard of people saying, use a puppy pad for like... by the changing table?
Yeah, bad idea.
Bad idea because those have chemicals in them.
Yeah, you do not want to use a puppy pad.
No, don't do that. But these things are your other option.
Okay, they're quilted. They have some thickness.
Yeah,
they can absorb some.
It's like a quilt, but is waterproof on the backside.
Yeah.
So it keeps everything in. We like to use them for on-the-go changing pad. We still use them to this day. When you're out and about, and when you go to a restaurant or anywhere where they have those like portable changing tables, we just have one or two of these in our diaper bag and just toss them on there, and it makes it so it's not cold anymore.
Yeah, I like it from that standpoint because I go into the family restroom and I really don't want to put a baby on that surface. Have no idea what's been on there, so it's nice to be able to put these down first, and it's cold. They would fight. It's not a great place to have a screaming baby. It's really nice for that reason too, because they just roll up and they have that little button, and that's nice. Mm-hmm. The one thing I don't like about this changing pad liner is that when you wash it a couple times, it starts to pill. I wish it didn't do that.
That is true, yeah.
But other than that, I think it's a really good, for $16.95 for 3 of them, I think that's a really good buy. And I definitely would put these on a registry again.
Oh, absolutely. And we have.
Would you put it on again?
Yeah.
Yes. Okay.
Yes. In fact, we actually bought more. Like, we got them, or they were on our registry, and then we bought another set.
Yeah, they're super useful.
Yeah.
Okay, the next item we have here is in the feeding category, and it's the Tommee Tippee Advanced Anti-Colic Newborn Babies bottle set, which most bottles these days are anti-colic. But we did not have a great experience with these, did we?
No, we did not.
So what was the problem in your mind?
Well, the fact that we put bottles on our registry, one brand of bottle.
Yeah.
was the biggest problem we know now. We didn't know at the time. But the other thing that I didn't like, before the babies were born, I washed the bottles.
There was just so many parts, and they just took forever to clean. Do we have the dishwasher set up when...
We did have it.
But it was really slow. It was a slow dishwasher.
It was, yeah. It took like,
like
3 hours or something to like... It was terrible. And it didn't dry them either.
No. So, I mean, we had 10 of these bottles. I don't think we used even some of them. Okay, so the first problem with these bottles was the fact that the flow rate for the number one nipple was so fast. And
they kept spinning.
When they started using these bottles, they came a little bit early. So they weren't at the 40-week point, right? I mean, they weren't technically premature. They were full term. They were a little bit early. So then they had a few days with the bottles from the hospital.
Yep.
And then they went to this number one nipple. And even though that they were just, a week and a half early from that 40 weeks, these nipples were way too fast. And I think they probably would have been too fast beyond that, 40-week point. And that was actually a lot of bottles. But the Boone Nourish, that was really perfect in terms of the flow rate and without having to go back and buy newborn nipples.
Yeah. The other bottle that the babies did like too was the Dr. Brown's, but we didn't like the Dr. Brown's because it allowed more air into the baby's mouth, even with like the air disperser or whatever it is. It still made them spit up a lot.
The Tommee Tippee, by far, of all the bottles we tried, had the most parts. So if you're having twins especially, such a pain. Just disassembling the bottle, let alone cleaning it, was a lot.
And all the little crevices, you need like a ton of different pipe cleaner.
Yeah, we could not use these at all, given the hectic schedule of where we were just constantly grabbing a bottle.
Yeah,
I think
we would have
maybe
lost our minds.
And I just need to go back for a second too and explain that we were strictly formula feeding, and with twins, so it was a lot of bottles. And so I think with the Comatomos and the Boone Nourish, those just are much better solutions overall versus having these extra parts like you have with the Tommee Tippee or like you have with the Dr. Brown's.
Yeah. It does work still, but
you
have the problem where you have like 80 parts to clean with all little tiny crevices. Yeah, we just found it a lot easier to use the silicone bottles.
And if you just want to clean Tommee Tippee all the time, then go for it by all means, but it didn't work for us. And we actually had a couple sets of these.
One of them came with a bottle warmer, which we found that we did not need. It was one of the selling points for me, actually, was the bottle warmer, which turned out to be a tumbler, just a double-walled tumbler. It was
almost useless.
Misleading, very misleading.
The heat sensing technology, it's just hilarious. Okay, let's go to strollers, and this is the Baby Trend sit and stand double baby stroller in 2-car seat travel system. Man, this thing was big.
It's a beast. It's heavy.
So, city apartment, this thing pretty much was like half the length.
We're on the 3rd floor. No elevator.
I could not stand this. Yeah.
No landing. Had to go up and down the stairs with it. He did.
Yeah. After 2 car seats. 2 infant car seats.
Yeah, because I couldn't carry anything because I had a C-section.
Definitely not the best solution. I think the biggest thing with this is that no matter what, it's super hard to turn.
The stroller itself.
I guess it's fine, if you're just, in wide open spaces. Even on city sidewalks, sometimes it felt like, how am I going to get this thing, turned around? It's especially if you take it into stores or anywhere else like that. It's just too much. We also had the problem that it was so big that it didn't fit in the trunk.
Yeah.
So we would have to break it down and pull off the wheels to even use it.
Which I think we only did that once.
We only did it once.
So it really was useless to us.
I mean, we lived in a walkable neighborhood. Don't get me wrong. We used the stroller a lot more than that.
Yeah.
Probably not as much as we would with a better solution.
Yeah.
Very hard to transport and take anywhere. I would say a lot of people like this because they have a baby in the infant portion and they have their bigger kid standing up and riding along. I can't imagine any world where I would want this again.
No. And actually I would compare it to a grocery cart that you have loaded up with groceries and then trying to like make a tight turn in an aisle or something. Like that's what it feels like, but with 2 tiny babies in it.
Yeah, and it's longer.
It like completely empty with like 2 tiny babies in it, and that's what it feels like.
And you really only can see one of them.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So, which is the other problem on the infant side, is that you have one that's, you know, almost completely hidden to you. So you have to kind of like stop, and then you have to walk half a mile to the front. And check them out.
The other thing about the stroller is like, even when they could actually sit up in the actual stroller part, the middle part, like the little carriage part where you should be able to keep things, like put like a bag or something, was not accessible. You couldn't put things down there. It was completely useless, that part.
I would say with a baby trend sit and stand, pass on it.
Well, if you have twins, though, this is the most affordable option. It comes with the car seats, with the bases,
right,
and the stroller, and it's less than $500. From that standpoint, it is good. It's the reason why it was on our registry in the first place.
So obviously, if you can spend a little bit more and get a better solution, great. But if you really need that budget option, there's not a lot available, and this is the one. This is the option.
Because when it comes to twins, the problem that you run into is most double strollers are made for a toddler and a baby. So you have the bassinet and then you have the chair. So you don't have those 2 options of having 2 babies in a stroller. That's why we opted for this option, because it's the cheapest one. Now we have the diaper fund.
But I think diaper funds overall, they are a good idea.
The other thing is, for new parents, there's the urge to like put diapers on your registry or have people bring diapers to the shower. And this just scratches the itch without putting diapers on the registry.
The Maxi, Cozy, Kori 2-in-1 baby rocker.
Really loved it. Well, one of my favorite things about it is that it was really lightweight. So it was easy to store away when we weren't using it. And because we lived in an apartment, we needed all the space we could get. Be able to get them out of the way, or also taking them with us. They folded up really easily.
3 settings. 2, 3 positions.
Yeah.
It was so nice.
And it was nice that you're able to adjust the height basically with one hand. Really, for the most part. Rock with your foot. So we would have them on either side of the rocker, and then just be able to reach over, left hand or right hand, and then adjust them as needed, which was quite nice. Very easy to get them in and out, I thought, for the most part.
And they were comfortable, too. They enjoyed sitting in them.
Yeah, I would say there was a period of time, probably from maybe 2 months to 4 months, where this was probably their preferred spot to be.
Yeah, maybe a little longer than that. But yes, I agree. Preferred spot, yes.
Yeah, maybe 2 to 5 months, somewhere around there.
Yeah.
So definitely would recommend this item. So I think there's a lot of good options. But I think for the price point, this is definitely one of the better options.
Yeah. And especially if you're looking for something that's easy to take with you places and is lightweight, this is a great option.
Not to mention the wood grain is kind of a nice.
It's a nice looking.
It's the Joovy room squared.
Squared.
So the squared, and you think, oh, okay, 2 babies can go into it. And this one, I would say pass on.
Yes.
You just don't need that much space.
This is something that we put on our registry because I didn't know what we would need for twins.
Yeah.
And this is a twin pack and play. So it's double the size.
It's not really any sort of situation.
There's no separation. You don't want. It's not safe sleep to have 2 babies in the same spot. So I guess I didn't really take any of that into account. I didn't know how. Were they going to be playing or spending time in it? I didn't know. So
and
it
even
seemed like a good idea at the time. I don't think we've ever put them in there together.
And this isn't that much bigger than your typical playpen. It's a little bit bigger.
It's a square.
Yeah. But I mean, it's not like, oh, there's so much more room for 2 kids to hang out.
It's not a playpen.
It's not a playpen.
It's
still a pack and play.
I wouldn't recommend this. And this is something that it still sits in our garage and we don't use it.
If someone wants to buy this from us, let us know.
The next item is the baby muslin washcloths or burp cloths. These we still use.
Yeah, we do.
We still have a drawer full of them. They're very useful. I would say it says newborn baby face towel. Yeah, they're definitely more useful in that newborn phase because you're constantly cleaning spit up, and they're a little bit textured, so you can even get some of the stuff that's kind of stuck to their face or something.
Yeah, they're very absorbent. Also, we still use these as washcloths for the babies. And also, I occasionally use them to wash my face.
Oh, yeah. So
I mean, they're great.
Once your babies are done with these, like, you just use them yourself. They're awesome. For $16, 10-pack, man, I feel like we should buy more of these. This is an item that I would definitely recommend.
These are the 12 by 12 inch.
The 12 by 12, which is a good size. You can just throw them in a back pocket and just keep going.
Yep. They're not too big or too long or anything. They're the right size.
Okay, the next item we have on here is the Hudson Baby Unisex Baby Cozy Fleece and Faux Sherpa Booties. The thing I like about them is that they were easy. The thing I didn't like about them is you have to be so careful not to cut off circulation because it's basically just elastic that you can get as tight as you want.
Yeah.
So you have to be like super sensitive about how you put them on. And they don't stay on necessarily if you're doing that.
There's elastic that goes from one side of the ankle to the other and around the back. And then there on the front side is Velcro. So you don't even think about the fact that the elastic could be cutting off like the circulation around the ankle. You're just trying to get the top of the booty secure.
Yeah.
So it's just really easy to
over tighten them.
Yeah.
You have to be like super careful you don't. Yeah, for that reason I didn't really like these. I wouldn't recommend these. I think there were definitely some better options.
Well, it also got difficult to actually get them secured at all because there wasn't enough Velcro to actually fit around Roar's feet.
We had a matching onesie for both the twins and for you, which was pretty cute. Maybe it didn't work out quite the way that you thought.
Yeah, it was really, really adorable. They were, newborn onesies, that one of each color, and then I had a striped onesie, that was the mama one. I think, I did a size medium, which everyone had told me, go for a little bit bigger than your pre-pregnancy size on things, because, you'll fit into that. That's not true. But also, they sent me the kids' size.
Oh, okay. All right.
So my torso was too long.
Interesting.
And I have a short torso, so that was silly.
Yeah, it clearly says women's onesie, so I don't know what was going on there.
Yeah, I don't know. It says kids on the thing. Either way, though, I think it is nice to have on your registry, and I'm glad that we put this on our registry. It's nice to have a going home outfit on there.
The next item is the Pacifier Clip Paci Holder, the baby girls, boys, silicone teething beads, which we didn't get a whole lot of use out of these.
Man, these things. I wanted to like them. They're really cute, but we didn't really have any use for them. Our babies didn't use pacifiers.
No.
And the other thing is, they really liked them. They really liked them.
Yeah, they did really like them, but didn't use them.
They don't care at all about the silicone part of it.
Right.
They only like the clip,
the
metal clip
yeah.
that you shouldn't let them chew on. And how are you supposed to prevent them from chewing on it?
Right. They don't want it on a pacifier.
Well,
they don't want the part you're supposed to chew on.
Clipped,
they just want to eat the metal clip.
When they were old enough, because, it's like, okay, well, I'm not going to put it on them until they're 6 months old, so they're, like, old enough. So I clipped it on them, and I think I attached, like, their spoon or something to it. So that, like, they wouldn't lose it.
Yeah.
But they immediately just started chewing on the metal while it was still on their shirt.
But they always want to chew on the metal.
Oh, I would maybe look for one that has the metal covered. Or there are some that like attach to the actual high chair, which might not be a bad idea. Or attach it to the bib. Otherwise, just pick it up and put it back and it's a face, which is what we ended up doing.
Okay, the next item on here is the Love to Dream Swaddle Up Light Gray Stars. 8 to 13 pounds.
I did try and put them in these.
Yeah.
And they hated it.
They hated it.
Yeah.
It's like a straitjacket.
Yeah. So their cousins were hands up babies. So I assumed that they would also be hands up babies. And I tried to put them in it and they just freaked out. So we just continued swaddling.
So the idea with this is that they would that you can put them in it and it keeps their arms up.
Yes.
Now we have the tiny Twinkle mess-proof baby bib, the 2-pack, which we use both of these over and over and over, machine washable. I think a lot of times we just threw these in the sink and then dried them off, but they were constantly covered in stuff. Amazing. An amazing product.
Well, we only had 2 of them for the 2 twins.
Right, so we were constantly, but that's what I'm saying, like,
in use.
you don't necessarily have to be throwing these in the laundry. Normally from day to day, just rinse them off in the sink and go, and they dry fast.
They do, and because of part of the bottom that kind of like is a food catcher that doesn't really work like that, you can just wash them off and then like flip them over the back of the high chair and just let them dry there. And that's perfect. And then they're right there when you need them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, those worked really, really well for us. And another item that worked really, really well for us, specifically for the Ikea Antilop high chair that we had, not something that we got from the registry, but
we bought separately.
This placemat for them was pretty awesome because you could just pull everything off at the same time and rinse it off. The You Little Cutie full cover silicone placemat. For twin parents, this is another great product, one that we got a lot of use out of, and that is the Twinsy pillow. Okay, the Twinsy pillow.
The Twinsy pillow, I loved it. I still love it, and we don't really use it anymore, and it makes me sad because I love it. The twins loved it too. It's really a breastfeeding pillow, which is what I intended to do, but then I decided that that wasn't for me. So we still used it to feed them every single day. It has a clip so you can tighten it. It's like a double boppy. Each twin sits in one side of it, and then you just sit there and feed them both at the same time. So nice. For a little while, they'd still lounge in it, and it was just a great hangout spot for them when they were little babies.
And one thing I really liked about it is it's really high quality.
Yeah, it is.
It always comes back to the shape. Never lost its shape as much as we used it. Pretty easy to clean, even though it had that velour texture. Maybe the best part about this, aside from the pillow, though, is the fact that it comes with this huge, sturdy travel bag, which I know a lot of other twin parents like this thing, and it makes it worth it. On your way to grandma's house, just throw everything in there.
Twinsy, the love every playmat.
Yeah.
The skip hop, all of it goes in the big bag.
Yeah. You definitely feel like Santa going around. It's just this bag that somehow can fit everything that you have. It's amazing. I recommend the Twinsy pillow. Really great product, especially if you have twins. Let's talk about the Antilop high chair a little bit. Okay, so the Antilop high chair, one of the best deals. Used to be $20, now $30.
Still the best deal.
Still pretty much the best deal in high chairs. We use it all the time. 2 issues that for the price I'm able to overlook. One is it's really hard to get the tray off. Not a big deal. Even now, as big as they are, can just kind of
plop them in there.
Plop them in from the top. And the second thing is that buckle, for some reason, and baby products have a ton of those little snap buckles. This one has pinched my fingers more than anything.
Yeah.
I don't know like what is slightly different about the design, but man, that is like a place I really have to be careful.
Only criticism really that I have other than that is the fact that the high chair legs go out so far.
Oh, yeah.
You just constantly have to watch your feet because it's so easy to trip on.
I pretty much trip on them daily.
Yeah, but they're worth it. We literally take them outside in the yard and spray them down because, there's no fabric on them, so you just spray down the whole thing.
Yeah, they're really not difficult to break down if you're going to be taking them places.
Yeah,
it's really just the one. It's called a Valco button. It's a little button that you pop in. So it's 5 parts, basically the legs and the seat,
and then the
tray. The tray, but the tray never comes off. It's funny. The legs are easier to get off than the tray.
Yeah.
We just leave the tray on. If you're going to get this, just know that you're going to leave the tray on forever.
You're not going to be putting it in the dishwasher, trust me.
It's really not bad to wipe down. We're doing it all the time now. We don't have the tray covers on there.
And especially during the puree time, when everything just gets so messy,
the tray cover.
That's when you need the tray cover. Because you don't want to be wiping the whole thing down the whole time.
The next item we have on here is the Skip Hop Bath Spout Cover Universal Fit Moby Gray. It's nice.
No complaints.
No complaints. We use that. It's cute. Initially, it was nice because you worry less about them hitting into it.
Yeah.
But now it's nice because it obscures the shower pool. they sit there as the tub's filling up and they kind of play with the water and they never even think to pull this, which I know if that was exposed, that would be one of the first things they go 100%. For because they
absolutely
they love to tinker.
Yeah.
The next item is the bath kneeler and elbow rest pad. We did not get this, and I don't think there's a world where I would ever need this. No, it's fine.
And this is coming from twin parents. We're bathing 2 at once from day 1 in our bathtub whole time. We never had a separate bathtub, so we've never needed this.
I think there's someone who needs this. Maybe if you have bad knees or something like that, like by all means. I think for most parents, though, it's probably going to be a little bit too much.
I'm not sure why you would need the elbow things.
It's probably more work, too, honestly, end of the day, to even have to clean this up.
It seems like a good idea, especially as someone who was about to become a new mom of twins. I thought for sure I'm going to need that.
Yeah.
But no, there's not a day that goes by that I wish I had that.
The peanut shell hooded bath towel and washcloth set. The micro...
This
it's the size of a peanut.
Okay, the actual towels are almost completely useless. They turn into like literal sandpaper.
I feel like every
They're
episode...
non-absorbent. It's like putting like a piece of toilet paper on your baby.
I feel like every episode of this podcast, this is only episode 2, I feel like every episode of this podcast, we are going to be roasting these hooded...
These things are just the worst. I didn't even know they could make worse towels than these, truly. And I thought for sure, because it's for babies, that, it's going to be cozy and nice.
It's going to be better. No, it's not better.
No, it barely even fits a newborn twin baby. They were a little bit smaller than... They weren't tiny, but they were smaller than a lot of other babies. And we did end up using them a lot, actually, but mostly for cleaning the floor and stuff, for when the twins would throw puree and things like that. We clean them up.
A last resort washcloth, basically.
Yes, because we didn't want to use, like, our good dish towels.
Anything's more important than preserving these. Okay, next we have the Mustela Newborn Arrival Gift Set Baby Skincare and Bath Time Essentials.
We did not receive this. It seems really, really nice. Mustela is the same brand that I used for my belly cream.
And that you really liked.
I loved that. I loved the belly cream and the belly oil. Just made my skin, especially when it was like, my belly was getting big and it was itchy and everything. It just felt really nice. So that's why I put that on there.
The DermaFrida bath mitt. Skip it.
It depends, I guess.
I'm pro washcloth.
We ended up with a lot of washcloths.
Yeah, which work well.
Yeah.
What's the advantage of the DermaFrida bath mitt?
Okay, really? So the DermaFrida bath mitt is a little bit like...
more abrasive?
Yeah, it would have probably been better to help keep cradle cap at bay, which our babies did end up getting some cradle cap. You stick it on your hand, so it's like a mitt. I feel like that's easier. I would still register for it, though.
You would do it again.
I'd do it again.
I say skip it. The portable diaper changing pad for baby from Alatino.
I like it. Our situation was a little bit different. Where we lived and everything for the first year of the baby's life, it wasn't easy for us to leave, so we didn't really go a lot of places. But had we been doing that, this would have been really helpful. You can have a few diapers in there, some wipes, a couple of snacks if they're older kids, and then it's all just as part of this changing pad, all in one. So you just toss it quickly into the stroller.
Maybe I just don't like briefcase style stuff. We obviously had a 2 diaper bag strategy in the long run, which I think even for a singleton can be a really good way to go. And you just have that smaller diaper bag that you can grab really quick. What's the advantage of this fold up diaper changing bag? Because it feels like it's serving some of those same functions with the little pockets and places for the diaper stuff.
Let's say you're at a restaurant. You can have this in your diaper bag and just take the whole thing with you.
So you're throwing this into that diaper bag, into the big diaper bag, I would assume.
Yeah, sure. I do see an advantage to this.
If you're going to be out and about all the time, it's a good idea.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, maybe. Especially for like shorter outings, not full day trips.
The next item we have on the list is the Joovy steel odor locking diaper pail, and I think this is just an amazing diaper pail. Yeah,
it is.
I would do this one over and over. We were out of town last week. Got back late, kind of slept in. missed trash day. Somehow this thing held 2 weeks worth of twin toddler diapers. I didn't smell a thing.
No, I didn't either.
They all fit. Yeah, I think it's a pretty incredible diaper pail, honestly. Yeah. I would definitely recommend this. And I like the color that we have.
They have quite a
bunch
few.
of colors, right?
Yeah. We have the slate.
Powder coat. It pretty much looks like the day we bought it.
It does. It does look like it.
I think always done a good job of locking in odors, and I think it's pretty amazing to me. We have to go into this weekly to get the trash bag out, and it takes regular trash bags, which is awesome. That's the only time I really smell these diapers.
Yep.
And as soon as I open it up, oh man. So it's doing some work.
Well, the only other time that I smell the diapers is if one of us accidentally forgets to
close it. Yeah.
Then you can smell it.
Yeah. So this thing really does odor locking for sure. It's amazing.
We don't even have anything inside. Like, we don't have an odor eater inside or anywhere really in that general location.
If this is going to hold it from week to week, like, I want to keep the diapers in here because I know if I take that bag out and I put it in the garage and I put it in the trash, then I'm going to smell it. We just have to keep all the poopy diapers in this diaper pail no matter what because it's our only line of defense.
Can we let them in on our strategy?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, so what we do is we only throw poopy diapers in the pail.
Yeah.
If it's a potty diaper... there's pee-pee in it.
Yeah.
It goes in the regular garbage because that doesn't smell.
I think it's worthwhile, even if you want to throw all your diapers in here, then just like get an extra one or get another diaper pail that the odor control isn't quite so important to put the pee-pee diapers in because this is where you want your poopy diapers.
Yes.
For the whole week, and you don't want to take them out unless you have some area that's very remote to put these diapers.
And this is coming from us. We've been using this with twins for 2 years now.
Yeah.
And the same exact one. We have not bought another one. It's the same one. And it still is holding in odors.
Yeah, I definitely recommend the Ubi Steel odor locking diaper. Another great item. And this is the Parker Baby Co. Birch diaper backpack. Good diaper bag, has held up really well through a lot of different environments.
Stuffed to the brim.
Totally. I feel like when you like pack something so full like that, it's really hard on the zippers, but the zippers are still intact. They're still working well, which is a great sign. The only thing I think that's kind of challenging with this diaper bag, it has a lot of pockets. So if you're not the parent who packed it, me probably, it can be kind of hard to find things unless you know where to look because you could just be going through pockets all day. There's so many pockets packed into this thing. After having our system in place for such a long time, I know where to go for the essentials. Yeah. So it's not that big of a deal. But when you're starting out, you need to get in the habit of always putting things back in the same pockets if you're going to ever remember where to find something. It
is nice to have things have pockets, though. It's great to have places for everything.
Right. And I really like the wet pocket, and I think that does a really good job. And also the changing pad that's with it. Both of those things work really well. Very high quality. I think this is a good diaper bag overall, especially if you need a bigger diaper bag or you're in a situation like us with twins. This is a really good diaper bag.
Yeah. The other thing, though, that I do have to say is that the cooler pockets on the outside, I love those. It is difficult to fit our bottles in them.
Yeah,
but they
with bigger
do
bottles.
Fit.
They fit. At least they fit.
I wish that they were just a little bit bigger, but they do fit. So, and we have the Boone Nourish full-size bottles. So
good point. In nursery and decor, we have the waterproof fitted mini crib mattress pad cover. It works well.
Well, maybe this is my own fault, but having been washed several times and dried, I have noticed that the waterproof backside has melted. Both of them.
So in the dryer, you have to be really careful.
And we don't have high heat because we don't want anything to shrink. So it's just like normal drying temperature has
don't melt these.
Melted them?
Yeah. So the one problem is you can easily melt them.
So I mean, I don't care because our mattresses are not. They're covered themselves. So if anything leaks through, we can just wipe it up. But if this were on a mattress that was not waterproof by itself, then that would be a problem. So that's one thing to watch out with these mattress pad covers.
The next item is the Woodland Dreams mini crib sheet by Rookie Humans. So cute.
Adorable. We did not get these ones, but we did get the Savannah mini crib sheets. and the Jungle Mini Crib sheets by Ricky Humans.
Yeah, it's really funny because like in the beginning they're just cute. Like everyone says like, oh, those sheets are so cute when something's like out on the internet with their cribs and stuff. And it's like, where did you get those sheets? And the funny thing though is like over time they start to learn the animals and like point them out, and they just become like old friends in the crib. And I look at them like, man, like I think it'd be kind of scary if I was a kid to have a lion or a tiger or a snake or something in there.
They're really
but,
cute.
Yeah, they're super cute, and I think there's something that the babies over time, as they learn these things, grow fond of as well.
And they're really great quality sheets. The colors are still vibrant after 2 years of use. These are primary sheets. These are the ones they sleep on almost every single night. And the twins love them. They've held up great. They're soft. No complaints. They're adorable.
The baby pillow for newborn, breathable 3D air mesh organic cotton. If you don't know, the air mesh actually is something that they can lay on, and it allows air to come through it.
You can actually breathe through it.
Which is a pretty cool technology. I think these pillows are a little bit hard to use.
They were. It also, like, since it's not safe, pillows are not safe sleep, and pretty much newborns are sleeping like all the time.
Yeah, even if it's the air mesh, it's not.
Yeah, it's not safe sleep. They weren't actually able to like use these enough to make any kind of difference whatsoever. They are cute, but we haven't really had a use for them.
Kind of an awkward product when it really comes down to it. The next item we have here is the Hatch Baby Rest Sound Machine Nightlight in Time to Rise. This is something that we use quite a bit. And I think it's really good because it actually even cues the babies as to what time it is and what their schedule is, since it changes colors at certain times, and that's something that they become accustomed to over the long term. I didn't know that would necessarily work. I was a little bit skeptical about that, but it's something that they definitely notice when it's when we're a little bit earlier or late for their schedule. So it's good from that standpoint. I never used the app. I tried that like the first couple days, and now really never use it.
I use it. I barely use it at this point because now I have it all programmed. I have the transitions programmed. When they wake up, it's going to be a certain color, and when they go to sleep, it's going to be a certain color and play a certain sound. It's great because I've just kind of like set it and forget it. But, you know, if we're off schedule or something, it's nice to just be able to go on my phone and switch it over to nap time. I really love the Hatch Baby Rest. And I know that they've made some improvements, too, with the newer generation. The Hatch Baby Rest has a tray, like a charging tray, so you can pick it up.
Oh, that's nice.
And take
it's
it with
portable.
You.
That would be a lot better.
And that would be a game changer, I think.
I know a lot of people really like the portable sound machine, so that would be a way to kind of do that.
Yeah, and also the nightlight, like for the newborn phase and everything, like you can just like bring it with you, like how you had.
And that is one thing with this one specifically, is that as a task light, it never gets bright enough. Especially in those first few months before they started sleeping all night. I needed some other light to work with because this wasn't enough. Even though we had it right on the edge of our changing table, there's no way that I could possibly see if they were completely cleaned up just using this.
Yeah.
So the next item is the Moon Baby Split 30 baby monitor, split screen with 2 cameras, closed circuit. I know you really like that approach. Something we used a lot. I think I've always, for the most part, liked this, but I've had a couple problems with it. One thing that people don't think about when it comes to a baby monitor is like, how big are the leaps in volume and brightness?
Yeah.
And this one has like pretty big leaps. Like it's either like too quiet or it's too loud, which I don't like, or it's too dim or it's too bright, which I don't like.
Well, no, it doesn't. It never gets dim enough. If it's nighttime, it doesn't ever get dim enough.
It's either off.
Yeah, it's off or too bright.
Yeah, good point. I really like the fact that it tells you the temperature. You use that a lot.
Yes, which ends up being important.
Important, but it also, I feel like, runs hot because it's like picking up some of the heat off the device.
Yeah,
There's no way
it picks up its own heat.
It's no way some of the temperatures that it tells us is actually the temperature. It always seems like it's maybe I don't know, 2 or 3 degrees hotter. Would you say? Yeah. So that's one thing to understand with this is like don't go and freeze your baby because, you know, understand that you kind of have to calibrate this to the temperature in your house, and that the on-device thermometer is probably going to run a little bit hotter than your thermostat. Let's talk about the Delta Children Essex Convertible Mini Baby Cribs. These have been really good cribs, really easy to assemble.
Yeah.
They save space. The
they're
one
cute.
problem, we talked a little bit about this last week with the Delta. The paint finishes come off pretty easy. Even in assembly, just kind of hitting it with the back of the screwdriver, the paint was already coming off. And now that it's been in the hands of 1-year-olds for now almost a complete year, completely torn up, at least on one of them.
Yeah.
And
You've got a little chipmunk.
Right, a little chipmunk, just completely destroying the paint finish quite easily. And the other problem is that these aren't actually really convertible to anything. We talked about that last week, and you wouldn't want them to be, because the finish is just gonna be destroyed. I don't think as you move your nursery over into a toddler bedroom, it's something that, unless you're repainting it, you're gonna want as part of your decor.
No, but we have 2 Delta Children Essex convertible mini cribs that came with the mattress included.
Yeah.
How
Great
much
deal.
were they?
$130.
Yes.
That's a great deal. Each. $130 each.
Yeah, but still, combined, that's less than most other
Most cribs, yeah.
And they included the mattresses. And our kids still sleep on the mattresses. They are almost 2 years old.
Yeah, so that's a really important point, because with the mini cribs, you think, oh, it's only for when they're in this certain age range. But really, no, they can use them for the entire time, all the way until they're toddlers.
Yeah.
Until they're ready to move into a toddler bed. It's not like you're having to go from a mini crib to a full-size crib ever. No. They can just be in the mini crib.
Yeah, they'll be in the mini crib. But also, they're not going to go to toddler beds. They're going to go to regular beds. They're going to go...
Excuse me, they can use this from when they're little tiny infants until they're ready to move to big kid beds.
Yes, exactly.
Safety First Deluxe 25-piece baby healthcare and grooming kit. What do you say?
Almost completely useless.
Yeah, cheap. There's
like almost everything. Like the thermometer never worked, not even for a second. The nose bulb is too stiff. It's like too hard that you can't. It doesn't even suction. There's things in there that don't make any sense at all. Like I don't know what you would even use them for.
Yeah.
There is a full-size toothbrush, like for an adult in there. And then, of course, there's like a comb and a brush, which are great, which we do use, the comb and the brush. And then the nail clipper are the only things that are worth it, and those things are not worth the price of it. So it does have a carrying case, but like honestly, it has a buckle that you have to like thread back through every single time you open it and close it. So even that is not worth it.
Yeah, it sounds like bad design all around.
Yes.
All things considered, how would you rate this registry overall?
I would say that it's incomplete. This is an incomplete registry. I didn't realize that at the time, but it's certainly missing things. But it's good overall. It's good.
When you're looking online, those checklists steer you wrong
Yeah.
because they're just stuck in an old way of thinking, and they're not thinking about the way that we're going about our lives and taking care of our kids.
I mean, you may notice on our registry you didn't find a bottle sanitizer or like a baby Bariza or things like that. I felt that those were not worth it. As far as it goes for us, I was right. Mm-hmm. I intended to breastfeed, or that's what I thought I was going to do, was breastfeed, but then I decided that wasn't for me after the twins were already here. So I guess that's part of the reason why we didn't have a baby Bariza. However, after researching after we had already had the babies and I decided that breastfeeding wasn't for me, found that the Dr. Brown's formula mixing pitcher was the way to go. So
right.
Obviously, like something like that would have been something to put on the registry.
Yeah, in some ways we just didn't understand, like, for our lifestyle and the way that we wanted, I think taking the time to think through those decisions up front and really starting to like form a vision of what, life is going to look like is probably more important than looking at a lot of these checklist and conventional recommendations. When we're building out a registry through the baby gear game plan, we are very careful to go systematically through and make sure that we're covering all those items in the baby registry, but it's not necessarily what you think. It's not like the Pinterest mommy blog where it's like a billion things, or even like the Amazon checklist.
Yeah.
It's very specific about meeting the requirements of that parent's lifestyle.
Yes. Yeah.
It's not just about, oh, here's an item, put it on there. Because I think where we ran into trouble with this is, working off of that framework of let's go through the checklist rather than working off the framework of making sure that we include all the items that we need specifically for our lifestyle.
Yeah.
And it's a totally different approach, but I think one that's way more effective ultimately when it comes to building a baby registry.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So we've learned a lot. Having spent thousands of hours in baby registries and looking at baby products, I think we would definitely approach this completely differently.
Yes.
But that's not to say were really some true gems that you found when putting together this baby registry, and a lot of items on here that would end up on a new baby registry if we were starting today.
Absolutely. Yeah. Mm-hmm. It's where we learn how to strategize.
So thank you so much for joining us for this episode of the Baby Registry Breakdown. We hope to see you again next week. If you need help with your baby registry, make sure to look us up over at pabbit.com. And if you would like us to go through your baby registry item by item, you can submit it there at pabbit.com/BRB. Thanks again.
Thanks.